I have a problem. Well, I have lots of problems, but this particular problem is about motorcycles. I've decided it's time to buy a new one. How could that possibly be a problem? So my dilemma is not so much about the bike itself. I know which bikes are on my short list. It's the class of bike. The big ADV bike or the little dual sport. That's what I can't decide. So let's break the dilemma down a little bit more. Pros and cons of each one. The big ADV bike. Pros for this one, every electronic doodad known to mankind. Comfortable all-day riding. If you want to do long-distance touring, this is the bike. These big ADV bikes are awesome on the freeway. They've got enough weight and mass, you're not going to get blown around by every single truck going by. If you've got the skill, you can ride these bikes pretty much anywhere in the dirt. I don't know if that really applies to me. The cons for the big adventure bikes. First one, they're big and they're heavy. I honestly worry that I'm going to be able to pick one of these things up if I'm by myself out on the trail somewhere. Yes, I've watched all the how-to videos. I know it's possible. I just worry that I can actually do it. The second real negative issue about these bikes is the cost. I'm probably going to have to take a second mortgage out of my house to be able to afford one of these things. And on top of that, I think maintenance and service intervals are going to be more expensive and a little bit harder. I'm not entirely sure it's work that I can do myself. Now to the dual sport. The big pros for these guys, number one, lighter weight. I have no doubts that I can pick this thing up when I drop it, and I will drop it. The next big pro for one of the little dual sports is the cost. I can buy 3 of these things for the cost of one of the big ADV bikes and probably still have money left over for modifications. The negatives for one of these little dual sports, they're not very comfortable. More than a couple hours on one of these things and your eyeballs are going to vibrate out of your head. Certainly not going to do long distance touring on one of these things. Is it possible? Yes, I know people do outfit them and you can do it, but I'm too old for that. Another negative, they're pretty simple. There's no electronics, a basic fuel gauge, speedometer, that's about it. Okay, so I know what you're all going to say. The answer is you need to look at what kind of riding you actually do, and that will guide you to your decision. So what kind of riding do I do? Realistically, on the weekends here and there, a couple hours, little gravel and fire roads, poking around, that sort of thing. That's what I do most of the time. So based upon that, the little dual sport realistically is the right bike. It's going to take me on any trail that I'm capable of doing. They're lightweight, they're fun, inexpensive. That's the route that I should go. So what's the problem then? The problem is that in my head, I have this vision of doing the long distance adventure touring and exploration that the little dual sport really isn't capable of doing. Okay, fine. So go buy the big adventure bike and go on adventures. The problem is I can't decide how realistic that vision is. Am I really going to take off across the state? Am I going to do multi-day tours? Am I really going to explore like that? Because if I don't, that was an awful lot of money to spend on a bike just to poke around on my little local fire roads. I just can't decide. I honestly have no idea which one is the right decision. How do I decide? Magic 8-ball, flip a coin, rock, paper, scissors, write a letter to the UN? I just don't know. If you have any thoughts or input, I'd love to hear it. How was that for a cheesy way to get comments down below? Anyway, thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and I'll put links down below where I got the footage that I used.